We're going to discuss a very interesting topic today, financial due diligence for AI startups. Your board just approved a $2 million investment in an AI startup. Their demo was incredible. Their growth numbers looked amazing. Their founder has a PhD from, Stanford, Berkeley. 3 months later, you discover their AI is actually all offshore contractors manually processing data. This is a real life example. I won't name the company. Their gross margins are 30%, not the 85% they claimed. I've seen this exact scenario play out several times in my career lately. Today, I'm showing you how to spot AI financial fiction before you write the check. I'm a finance exec who has completed over 15 to 20 valuation studies for tech companies, including a couple of AI startups. Through case studies and financial analysis, I've seen everything from completely fake AI to brilliant companies that just could not explain the unit economics properly. The difference between AI winners and disasters is not always obvious from the surface. It is in the financial details that most people don't know how to analyze. The AI financial fiction problem. AI startups are masters at financial storytelling. Here is what case studies have revealed. The AI that isn't AI, I read about a computer vision startup with 92% gross margins. Impressive, right? Until analysts dug into their cost structure and found they were paying $180,000 annually for offshore image annotation services. Their AI were actually humans labeling photos in Africa. A red flag. If gross margins seem too good to be true for an AI company, they probably are. The revenue recognition games. Another case showed a company with $3 million in annual recurring revenue. But when analysts examined their contracts, 60% were actually one-time professional services disguised as software subscriptions. Their real recurring revenue was $1.2 million. So the red flag, AI companies often blur the line between software revenue and services revenue to inflate their multiples. And the hidden infrastructure cost is also there. One startup claimed 80% gross margins, but wasn't including their cloud computing cost and cost of goods sold. They were spending $40,000 a month on AWS on the back end for model training and inference. There's $480,000 annually that should have been in COGS, dropping their gross margins down to 55, which is not bad, but still 55 from 80. AI companies have unique cost structures that do not fit traditional SaaS accounting. So here's a due diligence framework that I advise you to kind of take into account. I use this to evaluate AI startup financials. The first thing I would do, step 1, revenue quality analysis. Ask for revenue breakdown by type. Pure software subscriptions, professional services, usage-based or consumption revenue, maybe one-time licensing deals. Real AI companies should have at least 70% recurring software revenue. If it's lower, understand why and how they plan to improve the mix. Step 2, I'd look at the true cost structure and evaluate that. AI companies have 4 cost categories that traditional SaaS companies don't. Model training costs. How much do they spend developing and improving their AI models? This should be in R&D, not hidden in general expenses. What about inference costs? What does it cost to run their AI for customers? This includes cloud computing, data processing, model serving. They should be in COGS too. What about data acquisition cost? Are they buying training data or paying for data labeling? Another COGS item that is often miscategorized. What about human-in-the-loop costs? Many AI companies still need humans to review or correct AI outputs. If they are not transparent about this, that's a red flag. Step 3, look at the unit economics. Deep dive. Traditional SaaS metrics don't work for AI companies. Here's what I focus on. Cost per prediction or transaction. If they're charging per API call, what does each call actually cost them? Customer acquisition cost by use case. AI companies often serve multiple use cases with different economics. CAC should be calculated separately for each. Model performance decay. Look at that. AI models degrade over time like any system and they need retraining. How much does this cost and how often does it happen? What about scalability assessment? Step 4. The key question is, do their costs scale linearly with revenue or get better? I had one computer vision company where every new customer required additional GPU capacity. Their cost scaled 1:1 with revenue growth, which is terrible unit economics. Contrast that with a natural language processing company where additional customers use the same trained models. Their marginal costs were near zero, much better scalability. So here are some red flags and green flags that I want to talk about. Red flags that kill deals. Anything with gross margins under 60% for a software company usually means hidden services revenue or misclassified costs. Customer concentration over 30%. All companies often start with one big customer, but if they cannot diversify, they are not scalable. R&D spending under 15% of revenue. AI requires continuous model improvement. Low R&D spend suggests they are not really an AI company. What about declining model performance metrics? If accuracy, precision, or recall are getting worse over time, their competitive advantage is eroding. But what are the green flags that really excite me though? Gross margins are improving over time. Real gross margins shows they're optimizing their AI infrastructure and reducing human involvement. Look at multiple successful use cases, proves the AI is flexible and can address different customer problems. Clear data moats, proprietary data sets that get better with more customers create competitive advantages. Usage is growing faster than the customers. The existing customers are expanding their use of the AI, indicating a stronger product market fit. And finally, the model performance audit. This is where the most investors fail. Asked to see the model accuracy metrics over the past 12 months. False positive and false negative rates are very important. Model retraining frequency and cost, even more important. And look at the performance benchmarks against competitors. If they cannot provide this data or seem evasive, that's a red flag. AI startup due diligence is not just about technology. It's about understanding a fundamentally different business model with unique financial characteristics. The companies that succeed have transparent unit economics, improving gross margins, and clear paths to scalability. The ones that fail are usually hiding their true costs or overselling their AI capabilities. So here are 3 final tips. Always ask for customer references and then speak to them directly. Request to see their actual model performance data. And never invest without understanding their data strategy, because in AI, data is everything. What AI due diligence disasters have you encountered? Share your stories. I would love to hear more about your stories and develop my model accordingly. Take care. Bye-bye.